Good morning, everybody. So I'm going to take you all through some of the key features that you will find on the website and just update you on some of the new features that you can find and some of the things that we're doing with this website at present. The website's a really important part of the way we work. It helps us with our administration, it saves us a lot of money, and it's a repository of lots and lots of useful stuff that you as members have contributed. One thing that has been changing quite a bit in the last year or so is that we have been increasing the amount of content that now requires members to log on. Logging on is very simple. If you forget your password, it will remind you easily and quickly. And you can also reset your password because the ones we automatically issue when you join are usually a bit scary. You can easily change it to something memorable. You can get to a number of things by logging on that you can't get to any other way. We have a suppliers directory that's really important to us. It's an important source of revenue for us because people pay to advertise on the suppliers directory, but it's only visible to you when you log on. You can also do your membership updates. When you're asked to renew, it takes you automatically to this page. You can access your e-group settings, which we'll be talking about in a little bit more detail later on. We also have a growing number of member benefits, which Arthur will be talking about later today as well. And then there's two important areas also only accessible when you log on. One of which is the late payment register. This is a part of the site that is has to be log on only, and it gives information about customers of various types who have performed badly in terms of timely payment. They are admitted late payments by those people, but if you have an inquiry from a new customer, it's worthwhile going and looking at the late payment register so that you can see whether or not that particular client has behaved a little badly with other ICG members in the past. A very new feature is the CPD information, and you can access and download certificates if you watch a webinar live or attend any other event that is CPD registered with us, and you can access those certificates through this link at the bottom of the page. There are two places you can actually log on. One is in the top right hand of the page, and the other is at the very bottom of every page. There is a link as well. We are working on improving the navigation of the site. We tried to make the site as easy as possible to navigate when we relaunched it a couple of years ago, and the most commonly used way to navigate is the nav bar here at the top of the page. When you're logged on, you'll have the member area lightened up here. And you will have all the key buttons, most of which we'll be talking about this morning. You can also search specifically for members in this box up here. It will search more than just the name. You could just put in, for example, Liz, and a number of Liz's who are members will pop up. You could also search for an aspect of somebody's activities. The important thing is that this box only searches the member profile pages. It doesn't search any of the rest of the site. What you can do at the moment to search the site, and that's the pages but not the downloads, is if you go to Google, enter your search term and then a space and then site:/theicg.co.uk, and that will search the pages of the site, but we are working on improving that for you. The other key thing on logging on is that when you will know when you are logged on because the nav bar changes. And instead of having join here, it says suppliers here. And it's really important to support our suppliers. They are an important revenue stream for us through advertising on the site, and it is quite useful and keeps expanding. In terms of promoting members, the website is an important way to make sure you get your name out there. We get really, really high hits on every member page. That sometimes, of course, will be robots, but we know that it's an important element that people find when they use Google to search. And if you put your name into the Google search engine, you will find that your ICG Connect page, your ICG profile page, should I say, comes up very, very high in the search list. Midge will be talking in more detail about this in a moment, but it's really important. It's free advertising. If you don't have a website, this can be your website, and it's very easy to complete. Just moving on to the next page. So what's happening? The website's also an important link for us in terms of news and information. On the members page, when you log in, it features all the top information that's on the website, the latest postings, the latest events. They're all the most topical things. The very front page of the site also features the really top things, the most important events for us, the most recent postings, such as, for example, the latest webinar content, and other news and information. Or you can just browse through the news or events pages for more detail. Webinar event postings also include the links to register for the event, just as you did for this one. You can search through the current events on the page, and if you want to go and look at the archives of other events we've had, you do that through the links at the bottom of the page. What we do once an event is finished, I will go in and I will update the event page for this and put links across to where we post the recordings and also any PDFs of from the events, from the webinars, or the face-to-face events, so you can get to the information you need. And I know I often miss events, so I find it a very useful resource myself. We get very good traffic to the recordings for our webinars and events. We'll be talking about the Indie and other content later. We used to have a PDF version of the Indie. It's now all online and it's in the news page. The other page that we really would like to see a lot more activity on is the opinions page. We used to call this blogs. Now we call it opinions. Alison is responsible for coordinating and editing and making sure they are a good content. But anybody can go and read these. We make these public. Only ICG members can comment on the opinions. And to comment, you may need to be able to log in. But it would be great to get some more debate going on this page because it makes us look quite a lively organisation. So there's lots and lots of useful stuff. When we migrated to our new platform, it took two of us quite a long time to bring across the content. We do need to do a bit of a spring clean at the moment, but at the moment we've got material from the last 7 years on the site, and it can be useful to you. A lot of it is information that can be shared with your clients and other colleagues. But I'm always open to suggestions for better organisation and for more content. A very heavily used piece is the ICG logo and the identity brand guidelines, and we've now moved that onto the latest content, and we keep updating the date because we keep that now at the top of that page so you can find it easily. There's also lots of help and information both for everyday business needs. These get updated regularly, and we're very, very indebted to Jill Wales, who updates a lot of this content regularly. It's full of useful links, hints, tips, what you should be insured for, different ways of trading, whether you should be a sole trader, whether you should be a limited company, um, how to keep your business records. Lots and lots of good content, easy to download and use. Similarly, running research, lots and lots of helpful stuff. One particular area I noticed yesterday came up as a question on the e-group, which is requires login, is there is a whole page of guidelines for putting together those really boring policies that we all have to include in information to tender, such as equal opportunities, environmental policy, and data protection. We've done the hard work. In fact, Steve Hallam, in that case, has done the hard work for you already, and it's on the website there for you to use whenever you need it. We also have some expert guides. This is gradually being increased and improved, and these have been written by, excuse me, written by a number of our members, and they are, again, particularly two of them, the Commissioning Qualitative Research and the DIY Research Guide, are still very, very heavily updated. They were originally written before we had the new logo and brand ID. They've been updated and revised, and that expert guide area will be growing. Really useful for colleagues, for using with clients, and I mean, we use it them a lot still to boost our own profile. And if you've missed anything, we've got a section in the knowledge area. Go to webinars and you'll find all the recordings, and you can download the PDFs of all the content. So you can go and look at things when you've got the time, rather than having to find the time to attend live. One feature that is not used very much on the site yet, and we actually introduced it about a year and a half ago, is that it's very easy to share a page on the tool on the site. That could be your own member profile, it could be a particularly interesting item, it could be one of the opinions pieces, and it's this tool here. You'll find any page you can share has this little bar here, and if you click on it, you'll find you can share by a scary number of social media sites. It also has a print and emails tool in there. This has been our most shared page so far. It's one of the opinion pieces on the role for established bloggers in our toolkit, and as you see, that's already had 16 shares. But it's a tool that not many people are making use of yet, and we think it's useful. There's lots of other content on there. We've tried to keep the site as flat as possible, so you don't have to go down lots and lots of layers and through lots and lots of levels. But one thing that is quite useful is that if you need to reach any of us, you can find the committee members or the key contacts in the contacts page. And we also have a page on there for other useful organisations such as the MRBA and the Research Club and so forth. But that's an easy way to find any of us. So we'll come to questions later on, but if you've got ideas or thoughts on things you'd like to see on the website, it's like painting the Forth Road Bridge. It's a job never finished, and we're always trying to make it more relevant and more useful.